this is Olga Show for you. We are back in San Jose, capital of Silicon Valley. What a wonderful city, and so many creative ideas coming here in Silicon Valley. And here Paul, who actually quite important person, because when people leave behind themselves a lot of trash, he is the one who wants to be sure that we don't have a lot of trash all over the world, right? And especially in wonderful city of San Jose.
We try.
Would you please, Paul, tell us your position, what do you do, and why we are here?
I'm the trash reduction specialist for the city of San Jose. So I'm concerned about trash in our local creeks. San Jose is a city that has major creeks and rivers that run through it, and often these creeks and rivers get polluted with trash. So what we're trying to do is find the things in the creeks that are polluting, all the trash that's in the creeks that's polluting it, and get rid of the worst, so that we're left with only only materials that are not as harmful to the environment.
And I see that it does have some bags, but they are not as plastic. They're like made out of the recycled material, paperworks.
Well, they're made out of natural fibers. So in this case, this one here is made out of sugar cane fiber. So it is a material that breaks down very, very quickly if it was littered. As opposed to other types of materials like foam plastics, which are really what we're trying to avoid. Styrofoam is what's commonly called here. Expanded polystyrene foam is what it's more technically called. But it's a very common food packaging material, and we want to reduce that. And we want people to use things that are they either break down like this, they're compostable, so this can be put into a compost facility and turned back into soil, or we want people to use rigid plastics, and the rigid plastics are recyclable, and they don't break down in the creeks.
So that's how long does it take usually to recycle this kind of things in the environment, approximately?
In the environment, if this were to get into a creek, it would need to be cleaned up. But that's the nice thing about it. It stays rigid, and you can pick it up and clean it up.
Okay.
If it got into a creek, would dissolve in a matter of an hour or so.
What about these plastic bags? Is it good plastic bags?
Well,
What's so special about them?
this bag is made out of cornstarch. It's made out of the same material as these cups, and
we had to say that I saw some of my friends and they start to chew on it and like, oh, cornstarch should be edible.
No, not really. It's cornstarch that's made into a plastic, so it's probably not very appetizing.
Yeah.
This is also a cornstarch that's been made into a plastic, and this is, as the label says, it's compostable, which means that in the United States, in certain cities where they have composting operations like San Jose, San Francisco, Oakland, Seattle, many of the cities on the West Coast, you can put these out with either your food scraps or your yard waste, and it'll get turned back into soil. Since it's just cornstarch, it'll compost down.
So all of this food we see right now at the table made out of the compostable materials, plus it will dissolve in the
Right.
land.
Right. It's either like a cane material, so this is a natural fiber, or it's paper, as in the case of this, or it's a plastic that's made into from a cornstarch. We also do have though regular plastics, and while these won't break down or are compostable, they are recyclable.
And what about these lids? What's so good about them?
This one here is compostable. It's made out of the same thing the cup is.
Cornstarch. What about those napkins?
It's just a paper napkin, so it's a natural fiber.
Natural fiber, so it dissolves very quickly. Probably made out of recyclable materials.
Probably made out of either recycled paper or some wood.
All right. And I know that you're trying to introduce this to the restaurants right now, so the restaurants can start using recyclable, not reusable, but compostable material for their food to take to go.
Right. On the West Coast, the cities of San Francisco and Oakland have already banned the use of expanded polystyrene foam, the styrofoam. And and people who live in those communities are now getting their takeout food in containers like this and like this. So they're not using the styrofoam anymore. So San Jose is going to be the last of the large cities in the Bay Area to do that.
But they can still use this kind of material?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And even in city of Oakland, of course, this material is good to
Yes.
use. All right. Well, that's very good. Let's take care of recycling. I call myself recycling nuts, so I have recycling bin and glass and plastic and aluminum and paper. So I'm feeling responsible. So thank you for educating us. I know that you have a lot of information for the public and how they can find this information if they want to go online.
They can go to the city's website to www.sanjoseca.gov/EPS.
EPS, Environmental Protective Services?
Actually, EPS is expanded polystyrene,
Oh,
the foam.
well, close enough. Thank you so much. That was Olga Show for you, all about great environment and no trash around. Eliminate the trash in San Jose and starting globally.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Paul.
Thank you.